Hey folks, welcome into the News 12 Now Desk. Thanks for joining us here on this Monday, August 28th, just after 10:45 here on our Monday. We are here with another episode of First Alert Weather Extra, and that was a big story last night. If you were up around 11:30, you saw the lightning, you heard the thunder. If you weren't up, maybe it woke you up because that was some loud thunder. We're joined now by our First Alert meteorologists, Emily Acton and Mikkel Harding. Guys, good morning. I don't know about you, but I heard that thunder loud and clear right at about 11 o'clock.
I would say for me, it was more seeing the lightning flashes than anything. I mean, of course I heard the thunder, but I feel like what was like the lightning.
Yeah, it was very sharp, like electric for lack of a better word. But, it was a lot going on last night.
Yeah, and we do have some viewer photos and video sent in from you guys. Normally we save this till the end, but we'll go ahead and pull these up now. This is McDuffie County. What you'll see is this kind of covers a pretty wide area. So I live here in Augusta, right by the station. I know, Emily, you're out in Evans. Mikkel, you're in Augusta. And so
thank you for telling everybody where we live.
Okay, it's the city.
Here
it's
we go.
Not, here we go. It's okay. Let's all calm down. All right, but as you'll see, we've got people from McDuffie County, North Augusta. It was fine, right? I didn't say anything. I didn't say much. All right.
I know. I'm just picking on you.
The point of it is this lightning and thunder covered a wide area. That was the point. All right, and here we are. I think this is the same. Yeah, this is the same person that sent us this video. These are screenshots from a video that you're going to see in a minute. This is in North Augusta. This is from Gary.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. There's that crazy lightning, looking like a light display, a show or something.
Yeah. It honestly seems like it sped up in some way, but it probably wasn't.
I think this might be. I think because it says time lapse. Yeah, I think this is definitely sped up a little bit, but still, there were times.
It was.
Yeah, there were times last night. This is what it looked like.
You can see the clouds.
Yeah.
All this rapid lightning that we saw. Then this is from the first two screenshots are from this video right here. You'll see the big. There it goes.
Wow! And that one, you could even see it on the video. Most of the time, it's just like down and up, but that one stayed for a second.
This one held. Let's see it again. Watch this. Here it comes. There it goes. Look at that. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right, and then we've got a tree falling onto. I don't know if it fell onto the house or just fell next to the house here in Augusta. And there's no look. You see the branch over here. Seems to have been snapped off. And there it is. Yeah. So, there you go. A little bit of what last night's storm looked like. As always, we do appreciate the photos that you guys sent us. We love them. But I guess the nice thing about this, the silver lining of all this, is hopefully it cooled us down a little bit. Because we were coming off some crazy temperatures last week, guys. So, towards the end of the week, we were looking at 99 degrees just about. Did we ever hit 100? I know there was the possibility. Did we ever get there?
We did.
On Saturday?
We did.
Yep. I think Saturday it might have actually been 101 in Augusta.
For real?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Crazy.
That's not heat index.
Hot.
That is the raw temperature.
I definitely made sure to emphasize that in the shows. I was like, this is not the feels like. This is the actual temperature. But good thing the feels like was not anything super extreme. Look it up on the
AWS website.
Yeah, maybe try that. One thing while Mikkel's looking that up, kind of going back to the storms, I asked this on my Facebook and I got a couple of different responses. Do you guys like to sleep whenever it's raining like that, or does that keep you up? Nick?
I like it. That was too much. Like I mean, I'm not even kidding. That was probably the loudest thunder I think I've ever heard. That was unreal. And it was like long claps of thunder, 4-second claps of thunder. Like it was extreme.
How was Gio?
Honestly, he was okay. Like, so he was in.
Gio's a pup.
Yeah, Gio is our roommate's dog, Alyssa Lyons, who does sports with us. She and I and Nick Nealon, we all have an apartment. And Gio, he got up when the first couple claps of thunder came out. He was stirring around a bit. So I got out. I went out of my room. I laid down on the couch with Gio, and then I guess he decided he was fine. He went back to Alyssa's room, and so then I was like, okay, I'm fine. Then so I went back to my room, and that was the end of that. But yeah, he was okay. He was okay. How was
good.
Feast?
Yeah. they can feel it a lot better than we can, and so it's so loud to us. It's probably 10 times louder to the puppy dogs. I know that was one of the comments too. Well, Phoebe doesn't live with me, sadly.
Oh, so Phoebe was okay.
So she was fine.
Yeah. Mikkel, how was your place?
Do you like to sleep?
I like to sleep when it's like rain, but like Nick said, that was a bit much last night.
Okay.
The thunder was so loud that it was like making the window panes in the building shake or just rattle.
Yeah.
So no, that's a little bit too much right there.
Yeah.
But that was some intense thunder, a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall too. I saw some of the heaviest rainfall I feel like I've ever saw at my apartment complex last night.
Yeah, that's
It was coming down.
We did have an aerial flood advisory for most of Augusta.
It was coming down. That was like last night.
Yeah.
And 10 o'clock. So.
And I did pull your Facebook up to see some of the comments here. Some people were saying the rain was so loud it kept them up till 12. Kept us awake because the rescue dog doesn't like the thunder. I just enjoy going to sleep, period. The weather doesn't matter.
I saw that.
That's what one person said. So overall, it sounds like people like to sleep to this, but last night was just a little bit much to try to sleep.
I can't sleep even if it's just like a steady rain. I'm like constantly checking the radar. I'm like, what's going on? Like I can't. Like my weather brain won't turn off.
That's a meteorologist right there. The rest of us, we sleep just fine.
Yeah.
But let's
regular rain. I'm knocked out.
Yeah, let's move on to what we're looking at today and moving forward now. Any more rain coming our way?
Any more rain?
Right, plenty of it.
Yeah, we're gonna see a lot.
I mean, you can see behind us. You can probably take the graphics full. Just a cloudy day already across the region. So this is going to be pretty much the outlook for at least through about Thursday morning. A lot of cloud cover each day, and then also we're talking about rain chances going up in between now and Wednesday for sure, even beginning tomorrow. But we're looking at visible satellite first, just kind of looking at widespread cloud cover across the southeast. You can really kind of see though where this front is at right now.
Pin the tail on the cold front.
Right. Whereas a lot of clear and more dry air behind this front. But this front is actually what's going to save us, it seems like, from some of the worst impacts from this tropical system that is known as Wrdw, which will become a hurricane. Speaking of a hurricane, just wanted to look at Franklin on visible satellite since we're already on visible satellite. This is not the system that we're tracking right now, just so everyone is aware. This is Franklin out in the Atlantic, heading towards Bermuda, a Category 4 hurricane, though. So Wrdw expected to become a Category 3, not too far away from a 4. So we may have a similar snapshot of Wrdw here coming up in the next 24, 36 hours. I wouldn't be surprised.
I was telling Mikkel before we started the show, I need to make that my screensaver. It's just beautiful, and I feel like since it's also in the middle of the ocean, we're not like, I mean, it could impact Bermuda, and I know like maybe some rip currents along the East Coast, but nonetheless, I feel like we can really appreciate the beauty of this storm. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't even have to be a weather person to think that is so cool.
What do you think about that, Nick?
I think it's all right. I don't mind it. I think it's pretty cool. I don't know about screensaver, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And now, Emily, I bet you wish you would have taken it if that was Hurricane Emily or Tropical Storm Emily. I think that would have immediately been your screensaver. But now that it's Franklin, I think it's not as meaningful for you.
Yeah, it's still so pretty though. But also, I don't know if you said this, Mikkel, I'm kind of going off track and we're totally going to get into the hurricanes later, but I think this is the first major hurricane of the season.
I didn't say that, so yeah.
Okay.
It is.
We'll get into that later though. We got a whole hurricane segment.
But you are 100% correct. It is. And that is what, like the F name, so, you know, kind of impressive that we're that deep into the alphabet. That's a good thing though. But temperatures today going to be well below average. How about 75 in Saluda right now? This time last week, we were easily pushing 80s and 90s.
But also look at the difference between Saluda and Sylvania.
Hey, that's another good point right there.
You know?
So, hey, definitely a lot more cloud cover apparently up in Saluda, Washington. A little bit more sunshine peeking through those cracks and crevices. High temperatures for today. We'll have a chance to get into the 90s. So still somewhat of a seasonal to even slightly above average day for most of us. But as we continue through this week, each day we're going to be knocking down those high temperatures, especially heading into Wednesday. We definitely could see temperatures possibly staying in the low 80s as we get into your Wednesday. So let's look at that high temperatures coming up here. Look at that, 81.
Yeah, Wednesday's going to be a weird one, which granted, you're not really going to enjoy the 80 because you're going to be hopefully indoors.
Yeah.
And even if you are outside, I feel like you're not going to be able to tell because it's like raining. I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's even a thing for other people. But if it's raining outside, I don't know the temperature. Unless it's really cold, then you notice it.
Yeah.
But if it's hot, I'm just like, I don't.
It's just raining.
Yeah.
It won't be anywhere near 100, so we're thankful for that.
Yeah, definitely.
We did look at it though, Nick, and you were saying Saturday, Daniel Field hit 101.
Yeah.
That was actually a record too. I have to go and look and see what record that it broke, but
I think it was 1958.
It broke that record.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
And that was 99, I think.
Yeah.
Could have been 100.
At Bushfield, we hit 98 Saturday, so the record was 100 in 1959, but we stayed 2 degrees below that. It's still very hot though, 98. But 101 at Daniel Field, that is.
Yeah.
I have not seen a temperature that high since I've been working here, so.
Crazy.
Pretty impressive stuff there, but rain chances, look at that, skyrocketing as we head into your Wednesday, and even staying elevated possibly for Thursday. But Wednesday is definitely the more impact day, I would say, for us in terms of all day, maybe widespread rainfall.
Yeah.
Maybe coming to an end as we get late Wednesday into early Thursday. But let's take a look at it, and I'll kind of just play this out and feel free to talk through it.
Okay.
But this is today.
Yeah, this afternoon, scattered, or isolated, and then as we head into the evening, maybe a little bit more scattered like in pattern, but could see some heavy downpours. I'm not expecting as intense as what we saw last night.
Right.
Or really even throughout the evening.
It wouldn't take much for anybody to flood, I would say.
Yeah,
and the ground is very saturated.
We are not at a good setup for the system to move in.
No.
But yeah, it should be calm overnight, so that's some good news. Hopefully you guys will be able to go to sleep, anybody with those animals that were staying up last night. Hopefully tomorrow or tonight will be a better night to sleep. About the day tomorrow, really not looking anything super substantial until we get into the evening hours. That's when we're going to see, I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Mikhail, but I think that this is coming from that cold front. That's where this moisture is coming from. We're not going to see any impacts from Idalia until late in the day Wednesday. And that's going to be those outer bands.
That's it right there.
Heavy rainfall. So that is noon.
Yes.
So yeah, later in the day, maybe midday. Rainfall. That might be better to say that. But yeah, lots of heavy rainfall.
Yeah.
And also too, the way that the track's been, I'm stopping myself right there. We're going to talk about hurricanes in a minute.
But I mean, you can mention it. Just that's kind of what I was highlighting. A lot of that heavy rain staying closer to the coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the track at this time. But if this takes a shift, you can see
a little
even
bit.
10, 20 miles to the west, that puts Augusta into more of that heavy rainfall. So
yeah.
I think it's still worth mentioning. Like you said, we'll get into it a little bit more in detail later. But right now, the coastline of South Carolina, Georgia looks to get anywhere between 4 to 6 plus inches of rainfall. So that could create a substantial flood situation for coastal SC and Georgia. So we're going to be watching that very closely. You can see projected rainfall totals right now from the Weather Prediction Center. It does favor those coastal areas of Georgia and South Carolina to see the most rainfall. Also that Big Bend portion of Florida as well, in between 3 to 5 inches with isolated higher totals. But that flash flood threat does include most of the CSRA for today, tomorrow, and then Wednesday. Just about all of us under that slight risk, and even Screven, Allendale, Bamberg counties included in that moderate risk. So definitely more of an elevated situation with this tropical system moving through. And as Emily mentioned, we're going to have a cold front around as well, kind of stalled across the area. That'll also help enhance the coverage of rainfall and the intensity, unfortunately. But as we get into today, there is a low severe threat, but as we looked at that, what the model is thinking for today, just more isolated to widely scattered coverage. As Emily mentioned, maybe a little bit more coverage heading into this evening. Tomorrow, we still could see widespread storms, but no severe threat in place right now, so that's good. And then Wednesday is when those impacts from Idalia begin to impact us. And then we're looking at that low severe threat across the southern part of the region. And then that flood threat again, though, pretty widespread across the area. But that's pretty much all we have right now for the forecast. But,
yeah. We'll put a stopping point at that, I guess. And I know Nick has a package for us of people preparing in Florida.
Yes.
And then we're
I
going
don't know
to
if you guys want to continue talking about the 7-day, but yes.
I don't know. Sorry.
Before we do that, we're going to do something a little different today. We're going to welcome in a Facebook audience because we're talking to Idalia. And so what we'll do here is to get the Facebook crew in, we're going to bring these folks in. Yeah, if people got questions, yeah, why not? Let me make sure. Okay, we are now live Facebook. Let me pull it up on Facebook itself so I can see and make sure. So if you're with the YouTube or website audience or app audience, just give us a quick second because we are welcoming in our Facebook crew right now. Okay, I think we're, where's my, there you are. Okay, I think we're good here. Okay, so hello Facebook. Welcome in here to our first Alert Weather Extra show. This is our daily weather show we do Monday through Friday in the mornings, where we talk about the weather from the CSRA, the region, the country, the world, if there are big enough stories to talk about. Today we are talking about Idalia. That is the newest tropical system we've got in the Atlantic. It is a tropical storm right now, expected to become a major hurricane though. So we've got Emily Acton, Mikkel Hannah Harding, our first alert meteorologist, standing by there in the studio. What we're going to do right now, we've got a story about Hurricane Idalia, tropical storm, Idalia preparations going on, and then we will talk about that storm as well as the tropics, what else we're looking at, and then we'll wrap up on Facebook and continue on our other platforms. So we'll run this story, and then we'll come right back to it.
Floridians are preparing for severe weather in anticipation.
Had a lot to unpack there. We had tropical storm Idalia, and we had Hurricane Franklin, which isn't going to impact the U.S. But let's go ahead and I'll just toss it over to you guys. I'll let you take it away with all the tracking of the tropics.
Yeah, where do you want to start?
Well, we'll start with Idalia, the storm that's so hard to pronounce sometimes. Yep. But Nick, we can take graphics full and just talk about it. So we're looking at a tropical storm right now that has winds at 65 miles per hour, so less than 10 miles per hour shy from being a Category 1 hurricane. So this is a strong tropical storm we're looking at. Still not, the most organized system, but a lot of thunderstorm activity around that center of circulation or infrared satellite. And it's moving to the north at 8 miles per hour, so not the fastest moving system either. But the big thing with Idalia is that it's going into basically a boiling pot of water in the Gulf of Mexico. So it's going to have the chance to rapidly intensify in between now and Wednesday. So we're talking about those winds going up quickly over a matter of 24 to 48 hours from a tropical storm to a major hurricane in the next 48 hours. And that definitely falls within that rapid intensification criteria. But this cone of uncertainty is getting skinnier and skinnier, so we're seeing more confidence in the path of this storm. But one thing I kind of want to point out, Emily, I'll let you take it from here, is that this cone of uncertainty really just accounts for the center of circulation and doesn't really show how far out those impacts could extend from the center.
Yeah, definitely good to point that out. Like you said, Mikkel, it's expected to reach Category 3 strength before it makes landfall in the Big Bend of Florida. But the good news is we're looking to be on the, unless it dramatically changes,
right,
we're going to be on the left side of this system. And so that's, if you have to experience this tropical storm or a tropical storm, you definitely want to be on the left side. The front right quadrant is the most intense, has the highest wind speeds, that kind of steers it. A lot more maybe tornadoes within the front right. So we're on the better side of things, even though we can still expect tropical storm strength whenever it makes landfall and even pushes into Georgia and South Carolina. I mean, we're still going to see some strong wind gusts, heavy rainfall can definitely be expected. Those are probably our main impacts or main concerns of the impacts here in the CSRA is going to be that heavy rainfall and then those strong wind gusts. So thankfully we're on the western side of it, and it's looking like it's going to go back out into the Atlantic. I'll be curious to see if it re-strengthens once it does that. But we also have Hurricane Franklin out there.
And before we move on from this, I just want to point out too, while we're looking at this cone so closely, that again, this is just the center. So the center can be as far west as this line or as far east as this line. So that's what this cone talks about. We often see those spaghetti plots that meteorologists like to use, and this cone is just a more organized way to show a consensus of those spaghetti plots and where we pretty much think the center of the storm could go. But coming in as a Category 3, so we're still looking at a strong tropical storm passing by us. Not going to weaken too much in between Wednesday and Thursday, as Emily said, pretty much hugging the coastline, and then going to be out over open water within a matter of 24 hours after it does begin to interact with land. So not going to completely die out, it looks like, but for us, main threat does look to be those gusty winds and maybe some flooding. But before we get into Franklin, just want to point out some of the alerts associated with Idalia. We have a hurricane warning for the western tip of Cuba, as well as tropical storm warnings for the Yucatan Peninsula near Cancun, then also an island off of Cuba, looks like Nueva Gerona. But as we continue towards Florida, we have a slew of hurricane warnings, tropical storm warnings, storm surge watches and warnings, all kind of tropical alerts here in Emily. So Florida's getting lit up. And you can see that's on the east and west coast of Florida. So really just about the entire peninsula getting impacted here, minus the Miami side, it looks like, and then also near that western part of the panhandle. But as I was kind of talking about earlier in general, between Tampa and Fort Myers, they got hit very hard by Hurricane Ian last year. So this is not an ideal situation for them. Some areas may still be recovering from Ian because that was also a major hurricane that brought major impacts in the way of flooding, winds, and rain. And it looks like a similar situation with Idalia in terms of storm surge. I saw some numbers in between 2 to 7 feet between Tampa and Fort Myers, and then even 7 to 11 feet north of Tampa in that Big Bend area. So this is definitely a serious situation for Florida. Thankfully here in the CSRA, we don't have impacts that are posed to be that serious, but Florida, this looks like a major threat in the coming days for them for sure. But I'll let you talk about Franklin.
Yeah. One more thing. I don't know if you had said this, Mikhail, but Category 3 is officially considered a major hurricane. So, yeah, this is going to be, I mean, we are watching this. It's going to move very quickly, too. Just like, I mean, within 2 days, it's already
back out into the open water.
Yeah, so that's definitely crazy. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off.
I just wanted to see, in between Wednesday 8 a.m. by Thursday 8 a.m. it's off the coast of North Carolina. So.
Yeah, crazy. It's just in and out, which that could be a good thing. You don't want them to stall. That's when really bad things happen.
Catastrophic, but that 24-hour period of Wednesday looks to be the main impact day. So I think it's good to go back and just point that out.
Yeah,
we're looking at more of an all-day Wednesday thing at this time, but let me go back. Now I'm moving too fast, but. Look at the winds on Franklin. I want you to point that out.
Crazy. 145, and that's sustained wind, so that's a constant.
Terrible.
Wind gusts are definitely exceeding that. What's standing out to me, though, Mikhail, is the pressure. 937 millibars.
That's very low as well.
That's a strong hurricane, and I mean, that checks out. Category 4 is a very strong hurricane. Thankfully, it's in the middle of the ocean, and we kind of just get to acknowledge the beauty of it. I mean, it looks great on the infrared that we're seeing.
Visible too.
But the visible, that's my favorite, definitely. It just looks so pretty.
It's so symmetric too, you know?
Yes, and it's going to the east a little bit. I don't know how to do Atlantic directions. It's in the Atlantic, west of Bermuda. That's the best I can get for us. But the impacts that we'll see here are really just along the east coast. Is going to be some stronger rip currents. But really, I mean, we're not going to see major impacts at all from Franklin. Franklin's been here for a minute.
It has. Franklin's he's started from the bottom. Now we're here.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's still going to go up to 150. Bermuda, though, thankfully not a direct hit, but definitely some insane wave heights probably, and some wind for sure. Probably tropical storm force at least, if not Category 1, and maybe some rain too. Franklin's not a little guy, but. Thankfully, no U.S. impacts from that major hurricane, which again, you can see just kind of churning away here on the infrared side. Like that eye is just so impressive. It's a solid system. These hurricanes often go through eyewall replacement cycles, but Franklin right now has a beautiful eye. Nothing raggedy about that at all. But what is this? Let's get into the Atlantic development risk. We are looking at one area outside of Franklin and Idalia for potential tropical development off the west coast of Africa. So about a 50% chance with that. We're watching it, but at this time, the more immediate threat looks to be Franklin or Idalia, excuse me.
Idalia,
Just
definitely looking like that. We had Franklin is our first major hurricane of the season, so that's a Category 3, 4, or 5. Franklin surpassed that this weekend, and Idalia might be the second major hurricane of the season. Like you said, Mikhail, earlier, it's going into a pot of boiling water pretty much. I think sea temperatures yesterday I was looking at roughly 88.
Terrible. All it is 80 at minimum. And Riley was talking about wind shear last week, but it seems like that situation has changed because there was supposed to be a little bit of wind shear out there to help kind of rip it apart, but if it's going to rapidly intensify like that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll. I say it's going to be one to watch. We are watching it. So that's not really the right word, but yeah. Big hurricanes. Big hurricane talk today.
Definitely.
It's a big story.
Just a reminder, we are forecasted to have an above average season off of the August outlook. On the high end, we could have 21 named storms. So far, we've gotten through Idalia now, so that brings us up to 8 storms so far this year. And let's see here, I'm doing some quick math. 3, 6, 7, 21 names. So yeah, if we get through 21 storms, that would complete the entire list on the high end, and that is the forecast. But right now we are through 8, so not quite even halfway through the list, but almost there for sure. And we are watching one other area for potential development, but again, right now all eyes are on Idalia, and we do still have an active part of the season to go through. We're just starting to get towards the peak of the season as we're finishing off August, about to cross over into September this week. So a very active chunk of the season left, and it doesn't end until November 30th. But as I mentioned, all eyes pretty much on this system right here. And be sure to keep it here for updates with your First Alert weather team. We're still in discussion about a First Alert because that eastern track for Idalia does continue to put us on the weaker side of the system. But we'll continue to watch this very closely, and you could see a First Alert coming out here within the next day or maybe today. So we'll just keep you guys updated, and be sure to keep it here with us.
Nick, do we have any questions?
I didn't see any. One person just said thanks for the update, so you're welcome. That was for Connie. So Connie, you're welcome for the update, and thank you for your appreciation. All right, but I did want to point out one thing, just because I was curious, so I looked it up. The most retired letter, you know when they have real bad hurricanes, they retire the name? The most retired letter.
Don't tell me. Let us guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
No,
Nick.
no,
I'm just interrupting you. What do you think
fun.
it is? I'm 100% going with I.
Yeah, I'm going with I. I mean, based off of the historical, but I'm trying to think of a second letter. I want to have a second letter. I thought A, but I'm like, nah. All I think was like Andrew. Maybe K. But I is my first choice.
Emily, do you want to toss out a second letter, or are you good with I?
I'm good with I.
It is I.
Oh.
So
I knew it.
we had Ida. Was that last year? Ida, I think.
Yep.
I think Ian was last year.
Oh yeah, it was Ian.
Yeah.
Ida must
I don't know
been.
when Ida was, but we could figure that out.
Okay, hang on. This article was from October. Okay, sorry. Ida was 2021.
Okay.
So maybe there's even more than this article says now. So there's Ian, Ida, Iota, Irma, Ingrid,
Irma.
Irene, Igor, Ike,
Irene.
Ivan, Isabel, Isidore, Iris, Inez, and Ione.
Those are all retired?
Those are all retired. And most of them are since 2000. So we had Ione and Inez in the 50s and 60s. And then Iris was 01, and everything else is after that. So there's
because those sound familiar. Like
yeah.
The ones that were.
Yeah.
I mean,
retired,
Irene, that one hit the Northeast. That one hit up in New Jersey where I was. I was there for that one. And then Irma, I was in college. Iota, here. Yeah. Ian.
Yeah. Ian. Yeah, that's the one, of course, most recently. But that's pretty wild, historically. Something about the I name.
Well, I think it's just that middle of the season. It's that peak.
Yeah.
We're getting to the peak of the season. And so that's kind of when it's going to start really ramping up. So I think the next couple, I mean, I's, J's, K's, you think about Katrina, Joaquin was a big one.
Yeah.
M's, Matthew, and I think that we're starting to really get into the real
Michael.
Memorable letters and names
in
the next couple weeks. But if you are watching this on Facebook, we're going to wrap up the Hurricane Talk here for Facebook. We'll still be live on our streaming apps and on YouTube. So if you want to come over to the streaming apps, the website, wrdw.com, the WRDW app, or on your Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV, whatever you stream on, you can watch us on there. And then on YouTube, we are WRDW News 12. And like I said, we're done with the Hurricane Talk for right now, but we'll continue on with some more weather here on this First Alert Weather Extra. So if you want to come hang out with us here, come on over. We'd love to have you. If not, thanks for tuning in on Facebook. We'll see you next time. So let me end the Facebook live stream. And now, good. Okay, now we're still on YouTube and the apps. Let's continue on with the next story here. Yeah, we ain't done yet. We still got another story. The next story here is about wildfires in California. So California, as we know, got hit with Hillary not too long ago. Saw mudslides over there. They're dealing with smoke from the Canadian fires that are coming down, and now they are dealing with some wildfires out there as well, causing people to evacuate. Let's go ahead and run this story.
The governor says that this may end.
Oops. There we go. Oops. There we are. Okay. Now we got everybody back. Yeah, guys, so it's just they're getting hammered over there in California. They can't catch a break right now with what they're seeing.
Really? All right. I'm like, you don't want to take the opportunity? So we found out, Nick, that it's in Louisiana, but the LA.
Yeah, the LA is not Los Angeles. It's Louisiana. I know.
It's all good, though.
Yeah, it's all right.
Hey, you know what, though? It happens. You do a lot of things right, and then you do one wrong. And, yeah. LA, Louisiana. Good one.
Yeah,
anyway.
Yeah, I mean.
So, very dangerous situation in Louisiana.
And it's scary, too, seeing this, like, for the people in Louisiana after just seeing what happened in Maui, and then it's right there on your back door, you know?
Right.
That's...
He just took his off. I'm sorry.
He's going to cry.
Because I'm not laughing at the wildfires in Louisiana. Please know that.
Yeah,
That is a very sad situation. Like you said, the wildfire, that's the deadliest one in history in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Over I know 110, maybe like 115 people.
Yeah, it kind of rises every day.
Hundreds of people still missing. They're trying to figure out a way to identify them. So
they're trying to put out a definitive
it's crazy
list.
the wildfire situation though in America this year. Oh, I'm sorry, Nate.
No, you're good. I was going to say with the Hawaii one, they're trying to put out an identified list of everybody still missing, or a concrete list to try to knock everybody, or to try to put everybody in one spot. That way you can start checking them off when they find people. But yeah, that was in Louisiana, not California. So,
It's all right.
It's Monday. It's early.
It's Monday. Yeah. It's all
good. It's all good. All right.
Well,
right. What's
ahead, Emily?
We're gonna end on a happy note. Phoebe's forecast.
Here we go.
Here's Phoebe's forecast. I got friends for you.
There you go. Oh, I was over there too.
No, yeah, that was good. Oh, Nicholas, you want to pull it full screen? Look at the picture. It's a new one.
She did update it.
Look at the bandana. She got groomed, and so it's little strawberries. The picture, I couldn't size it right, so it kind of is a little blurry, but.
Hey, she got that dog.
Honestly, I can't
She's
tell.
so cute. Oh, okay, good.
All
No,
right,
she's such a smiling dog. She smiles all the time.
Let me get a friend pulled up here.
Yeah, let's see some
She got
friends.
her tongue out like the dog in the graphic too. It's funny.
Maybe while you're getting the friends pulled up, Phoebe gives today a yellow paw print. Should be good temperature-wise. As we get into the afternoon, that's when you could see those hit or miss showers.
This is old Bowen here.
Oh my goodness.
What's his
The
name?
ears.
Bowen. Bowen. Bowen.
That's crazy. We have
This is
Florida
from
name,
Mimi.
Bowen. That's
So
wild.
thank you for
I
the photo,
love it.
Mimi. Phoebe and
Bowen.
friend. Bowen.
Yes.
Like Schnauzer? I don't know what kind of dog it is. It's
Oh.
a mix.
Some sort of terrier, I think.
Oh yeah, that could be.
Okay.
That sounds legit.
They do have like.
Yeah, I figure it's some sort of terrier. It's a little guy, but he's got a mean bark though. Got some yips on him.
Probably. He probably
But-
thinks that he's a big dog.
Yeah.
But we will keep keeping an eye on Tropical Storm Idalia, and of course keep you guys updated. Best way to stay updated is download our First Alert weather app. These guys keep you everything on there that you need to know. Ways to stay safe and all what you need to know weather-wise coming your way. So be sure to have that downloaded. Also, be sure to download our WRDW streaming app on whatever you stream, and then check us out on YouTube as well, WRDW News 12. So guys, it's been a pleasure as always. Emily, I know we lose you for the rest of the week. Gonna take a little time here. So Mikkel, we will hold down the fort for the next few days. And yeah, looking forward to it.
All right.
Same.
Alrighty, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll